Hey guys, Evan here with Kirshy Services. Today we are going to replace an attic ladder. As you can see, this one is in pretty bad shape. It actually has to be held up with two little latches so it doesn't fall down. I think the ladder is probably about 25 years old. It's ready to be. The whole thing's kind of falling apart. As you can see, one of the side hinges and mechanisms is coming off as well. And the bottom part is loose where the stringers come down. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead up and measure and make sure we have the right size ladder for the job. And then we will remove these springs and connectors and cut behind where the framework is on the ladder itself. Alright, so as you can see, the framework itself ties right into the stringers and supports for the attic hole. And what we're going to do is get in here with the Sawzall blade and cut all of the nails out all along the whole side and then remove the shims. Once that's completed, we can remove the old ladder and then start to fit the new one in. Here's the aftermath of our cut. As you can see, all of the side of the stringer is exposed in the framework, so it'll make it a lot easier to go ahead and take care of removing any of those nails or screws. Alright, so as you can see, we removed the old ladder. All that's left is the frame for the actual hole in the ceiling and your trim work. We left the trim so we could just kind of, if we have to wood putty it and paint it, we can, but we don't have to replace our trim. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get the new ladder and we're going to lift it up through the hole, set it on the trim, get the shims in place to make sure that everything's level and up to par, and the opening has enough space around the trim to lower. And then we will put a few starter screws in it just to check everything else, and everything from there just gets a little bit simpler. Alright, so we have the new ladder fitted in around the frame itself. As you can see, all the shims are in. We have a sufficient amount of screws. We're going to work on putting the lag bolts in the spots where the hinges go for extra support, as well as the front piece where you get all of the weight. So everything's square and leveled. The only thing we might have to do is adjust the trim under here a little bit, because the other ladder that came out wasn't quite as square as this one is, so we just have to kind of adjust it a little bit to make up the difference. So we'll keep you up to date on the progress. Alright, so now I'm driving the lag bolts into the sides where the hinges are to help added support. This is something the manufacturer requests that you do for the added support when you're walking up the ladder. I shimmed behind it and I drilled it out to the proper pre-drill. And there you go, nice and flush. I'm going to do the same for the other side, and then the 4 in the back, and then a couple in the front. And now we're just adding the additional lag bolts as well. So now we're cut to the right size. The only thing we have to do is adjust the trim. So now if you pull down the ladder, it's all ready to go, flush on the bottom. The feet are good to go. Nice and sturdy when you walk up it. And solid, nothing's going anywhere. Alright, so there you go, we're all finished up. The trim's been adjusted. We just need to putty in some of the spots here where the old hardware was to hold the thing up. Everything's flush. We're going to tighten up the spring at the top just to make sure it's snug and keeps tension in there. But everything works well, pulls down, no problem. Everything opens up. I'm trying to do this one-handed. And sits flush to the ground. And that's it. That's how you install an attic staircase.